Why are there so few entrepreneur millionaires? The other day, this popped up in my feed from my friend Natalie Bullen, and it sparked a really good conversation. You guys should absolutely follow her. I'm going to make sure I put the link in the chat to see some of her great posts. She even has a workshop coming up. So definitely take a follow over there. But let's talk about the answer for the question. Why are there so few entrepreneur millionaires, especially if you've been doing this for a while, if you've been working on this, if you're an expert in your field? Why are all the $1 million ideas not $1 million ideas for you, right? Let's be honest. Not to say you're not making money, not to say you're not making money, good money, but $1 million is different, right? And let's just say it's different. It's different in what you can do. It's different in how you operate. It's different in the lives you can change. It's different in how your life will change. Like, there's no one that can say, oh, $1 million isn't going to do that much, right? $1 million is I can bring in and now help two other people make six figures and kind of almost, not to say the pyramid trick thing, but kind of almost bring people up with me. I mean, $1 million is I can put something in a building or a place as opposed to working in my office if I don't want to work in my office in my home all the time. Like, $1 million is sits different, right? So back to the question of why are there so few millionaires? Because people will tell you, oh, you don't need to be a millionaire, and you don't need to, but it's different if you are. And if we look at especially in the online space, if you look at different groups, there are some disparities, right? There's disparities between men and women, there's disparities between race, there's disparities between country. Like, what was so different there that wasn't so different here? And here's what I've got, and I'm not singling anybody out, but if it's you, you know it's you, right? Here's what I got out of why I think that there are fewer millionaires, entrepreneur millionaires, than there possibly could be. And the big thing is, and again, no shade, not that either of these are bad, most people treat it like a job and don't treat it like a business or a company. We're actually so anti-corporate sometimes that we wind up not doing the things that a company needs to do, whether it's corporate or not. We like wind up operating very inefficiently. We refuse to bring on team to help us because we wanted to always be us and always be our voice. We refuse to let a tool automate anything because it has to be done, it has to be done by me. My clients are used to the personal touch. We refuse to get clients that don't necessarily require a heavy personal touch and move the personal touch clients to a higher tier. So we do a lot of things that keep us in the job mode. So we're paid, we're booked, we're busy. Some people are even balanced, which is very nice. And they figured out this, the workload and the price point, but they're also stuck. They're also stuck at six figures, multi six figures, multi six figures, right? And I'm not saying this takes overnight. I'm not saying you're going to get $1 million business if you do this one quick thing. Not at all. I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying if you start putting in people, processes, places, that is how you scale to $1 million company. And you don't have to have a ton of people. You could have two or three people using a number of tools, right, to help make it better. You don't have to have, a ton of tools. You could maybe have two or three people using two or three tools, doing it for a ton of clients because you've got a really good attraction system. A few years ago at one of the tribe conferences at the time, I remember James Wetmore did a presentation. He was talking about his system, but he put it and illustrated in the thoughts of a machine. And you guys know me, tech, machine, I'm all for it, right? What can we do? And not necessarily machine, but like our tech, but like the process, right? Thinking about old school, industrial revolution, just looking at a bulky machine going from end to beginning. At the beginning, you put in a bunch of things. You put in your knowledge, you put in your understanding, you put in what your clients need, you put in all these things, like all these things. And then that things go through your process. And at the end, you come out with a widget, which is a successful client, successful interaction, successful thing. If nothing else, you don't need another person, service, or thing on either end. The thing that makes it really work the most and the thing that makes you really profitable the most is changing that machine in the middle, right? changing the efficiency of getting it from point A, all of these things, my knowledge, my understanding, what I offer, what my clients need, what they need, what deliverables they have, what tools are built, taking all of these things, putting it through my system, my machine, and getting out at the end successful clients, right? Whatever the widget for them is, whether it's they've got websites, whether it's they've got strategies, whether they've got built tech, whether they've got a new marketing system, whatever the thing is that they want, whether they've got content on their site, whatever the thing is that they want, the faster, the more your system can get through, the better and more profitable you'll be on this end. And it might not be one system, right? So maybe we start off just offering a service, right? Big and bulky because I have to take it, I have to do all the work, I have to do this, da da da. I can only do 10 at a time, right? And maybe it takes me 60 days to do each, right? Because I'm doing it. I have a choice. I can either do more, get more of me, right? I can find people to help me. Maybe you do the research, you do the final emails. I only do the middle part that's really necessary to do. I can do that. Or I can say, well, let's take the tools, the templates we use, and make it a separate machine. So that way now when people come at the door, they're choosing, I either can do this. So now I can help people that maybe can't afford the service, or I can do this service. So I can either make my service better on the inside, I can split it off. And those are the kind of things we talk about when we talk about tech stacks and workflows. And if you guys come to one of our upcoming Build It weekends, make sure you fill out our survey down below so we can see which ones you guys want the most, right? But when you come to something like that, that's what we figure out. How do we need to break this up to make your machine more efficient? And so I feel like if more people treat it like a company, because that machine is the company, right? You are you, you are amazing, you will do all the great things. No one will know unless you pull it through a process, unless you pull it through your machine that is going to make that end of the whatever it is, right? And so being able to get that machine the most efficient for you to deliver what's at the end, or decide if you need multiple machines, that is like the most profitable thing you can do, because now you can start building that capacity to even get to the 1 million. So I thought it was a great question, great conversation. And as you guys see, I had a lot to say about that. So, like I said, I'm going to put a link. Make sure you guys follow Natalie. Make sure you tell me your thoughts. Why do you think there are so few millionaire entrepreneurs? What do you think we can do more of to make that whole process better so that we have more? Because each one teach one. And so if we get more millionaires, that means they hire more multi six figures. And those more multi six figures hire more five figures. Like it all works if we get it to work together and work the right way. So I will see you guys in the next video. Keep following the channel for all your tech tools, needs, system workflow, and a little bit of boundaries and mindset too. All right. See you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.